RETHINK Tailoring Sewing Lounge is a social enterprise with the mission to keep as many garments out of the landfills as possible. We upcycle damaged garments collected from the community into our locally made designs. While RETHINK has its roots in upcycling and repairing clients' pre-loved or sentimental garments to keep them out of the landfills, now is the time to do more by empowering others to fix, modify, and sew their own sustainable wardrobes. Teach a human to fish, right? Did you know that the fashion industry is responsible for 10% of global carbon emissions? That's more than international flights and maritime shipping combined. Not to mention how much we throw away each year. Right now is the time for us to grow our army of upcyclers and menders to battle this climate crisis while building community, because holy cows, we can all use a lot more of that right now. Hi friends, my name is Kristin McCoy and I'm the owner of RETHINK Tailoring and Sewing Lounge. I consider myself to be equal parts professional tailor, upcycler, clothing designer, and problem solver. And honestly, if I had to pick just one of those, it would be kind of like cutting off one of my legs. Let's not do that. In the summer of 2019, I noticed that way more people wanted to learn how to sew at the same time that the sustainable fashion movement was building momentum, and I knew that it was time for me to get back into brick and mortar life. In the RETHINK Sewing Lounge, I could teach others what I can do. There is only so much that one person can do on their own, but by building a community around reuse, mending, and upcycling, we can do so much more together. With the help of a successful Kickstarter, together we built the RETHINK storefront in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and opened our doors on March 14th, 2020. The one thing that none of us could have planned for was a pandemic that made us close those same doors the next day, scattering the community that we built. We hung on for 2 years, getting creative, pivot after pivot. I think we're at pivot 384 right now. Remember what I said about being a problem solver? Since the pandemic is not gone like all of us thought it would be, now is the time for us to find a new home for our community through our Patreon. Let's be honest. Omicron kicked all of our asses. And after 2 years, we have to accept our new reality. We can no longer wait until it's safe enough for us to gather in large groups in the storefront. It is time for us to make our new home, one that can weather and quite possibly even strengthen any shutdown. What we all need is community, and what RETHINK needs is stability. And through our Patreon, we can find both of those things. So what's gonna be on our Patreon? Why, thank you for asking. First comes the RETHINK Discord server. This is a space I have always dreamt about, where our community members can talk to each other. We can talk to them, they can talk to us, but they have no way to really talk to each other aside from like awkwardly in the comments. But we need a place where our community members can talk to each other and, become internet friends. Because how else do you meet people in a pandemic? This is a place to make connections, share tips or pictures of current projects, swap materials, and who knows, maybe there'll even be movie nights. The options are endless. Now on to the live stream! I hope you're not sick of me yet. There are so many times that I wish that I could work on my personal projects, but the reality of running a business through a pandemic is that I feel like I cannot justify or afford the time to do so. You know the saying, the cobbler always has the worst shoes, right? But if only there was a setting where I could work on these projects in front of a live audience and I could talk through real time as I'm working on them and problem solving. The monthly live stream. Thus, the live stream will be a peek into my brain. It might be scary. I'll try to dust off the cobwebs first. And you might even get to vote on what I work on from time to time. What's up next? The monthly Q&A. The monthly Q&A is a place for you to ask your tailoring, mending, upcycling, sewing from a pattern, etc. questions. Or you can even just be asking for ideas of what can be done on a project that you can bring to your local tailor. Not everybody needs to be sewers in our community. Stitching or upcycling appreciators are also just as important. These group Q&As are amazing because you don't know what you don't know until you hear it. It's really fantastic to just be inspired by what our community is working on. And these will be hosted by me, Laura, Logan, or Grace, and will be themed based on all of our specialties. Moving on to the tutorial library. Our tutorial library is where all of our pre-recorded materials will live, including my recorded version of my hand mending basics class. Whenever you want to learn more, just pop on in and see what's new. And I'll be uploading a new one every month. But what about your classes, you might ask? Oh yeah, we got lots of those. As for our live small group classes, I can remember when we opened and only had 3 on the schedule. And now we literally have 27 classes and are adding more all the time. In addition, this lovely Omicron business gave us a kick in the pants to bring even more of our classes online. And honestly, right now is finally the right time for us to launch this Patreon because we have so many online offerings. If you want to see all of our bajillion classes we have to offer, go to rethinktailoring.com, click the classes button, and voila, there's our classes menu. In addition to our classes, we can also cater our private lessons to meet your needs, both in person and online. The last 2 years sure as heck didn't go as we had planned, and we are so thankful to all of you because otherwise we wouldn't still be here. We so look forward to finally being able to settle into our new home, even if it's not the one we had originally planned on. We look forward to seeing you online, and as always, keep calm and sew on.